One of my former coworkers is Canadian, and we talked about it. People are like, do you know she's Canadian? I'm like, yes, but it doesn't mean all Canadians know each other. But anyway, we've remained friendly. She has decided she wants to move back to Canada with her wife. She's just like, you know what? The US isn't worth it anymore for us. So she's got a job. She's like, my wife will manage to find something. Like, we've come to the point that, like, as long as like one of us has a one like family income kind of thing, like we can survive in Canada for a while, and then she'll find something eventually. Like, to us, it's worth like short-term financial loss to like get back home. And she had called and she's like, what are your plans? What are you thinking of doing? Like, what does it look like for you? Like, if you're going to get up there, call me. Two people who know each other in Toronto kind of thing. And then she's texting me today because when you move back to Canada, you have to fill in like this inventory list of everything you're bringing into the country, which is fair. Now, also that stuff has to be like used. It can't be new. Which makes sense. Like, don't buy everything cheap in America and then move it into Canada to avoid tax. And she had some questions, and she's been asking me a few questions. She's like, what do you claim? What do you say when you cross the border? And I was like, as much as I knew, I've never moved like home contents across the border. So I'm like, this is what I know. But apparently today she called and she was asking stuff. And she was like, well, we're going to move stuff, but then we still have some stuff, so it's going to move in like 2 sections. She was talking to Border Control, so like, what do I list on which list? Because they are like 1/4 owners of a beach house, so eventually the furniture they have in the beach house will also move up to Canada, but it won't move up at this point. And she was talking with Border Patrol, and Border Patrol is like, you might want to get as much of your stuff like up over the border before there's more tariffs, because if we find something that isn't like on your list or isn't declared properly, you'll pay tax on it to bring it in. Now, tax at this moment is a little bit, but imagine if, say, the president jacks it up to 100%. Like, oh, it's a $60 charge today if you cross the border, but, if we play with tariffs, it could conceivably go up to 100%. So, like, know that at the time you cross the border and every day tariffs are changing. I can't give you a solid answer on what it would cost. I'm like, she's like, I hadn't thought of it from that perspective, and neither had I. Like, there are people at Canadian Border Patrol taking calls every day, trying to answer questions to the best of their ability about like, okay, so you're crossing into our country. Well, like I just bought a motorcycle yesterday and decided today to move into the country. Well, you have to pay tax on that. Like, okay, well, what's that tax? Like, well, today. It's subject to change because at any moment the president could open his mouth and that answer's not a solid answer anymore. Like, just think that through for a second. Border Patrol, which has really strict rules, and rightly so, cannot give a solid answer because day to day, the President of the United States can just play the tariff game. It's gotta be so good to be Border Patrol right now. And I didn't think, like, it's gotta be stressful to be Border Patrol at any time. Like, people are constantly lying to your face about what they're up to. But, like, in this case, they can't give you a solid answer. And it's not even remotely their fault. Just be prepared for taxes anywhere between, like 8 and 100%. I was like, leave the couch. Get your friends to buy the couch out from you. Like, the other 3 couples that own this house, get them to buy the couch out from you guys. Like, it is so not worth, because, after this summer, you put that couch and a few other things in a pod and you ship them up to Canada, but by then we're at 250% tariffs. It's going to cost you like $6,000 to get a couch across the border. Like, don't do it. Leave it behind. But like, just the insanity. At the whim of the president, it will cost somewhere between $60,000 and $6,000. Good luck crossing.